Now, all ceremonies have 4 parts to them. We start with an invocation, and we invoke sacred space. We invoke the energies of the universe to come and join our celebration and hold us in our ceremony. Any ceremony, any religious ceremony, ones you've seen at your synagogue or your churches or your temples, all start with an invocation. And we will start with a traditional invocation from Peru. Then we move into the ceremony, and this is the part of transformation. This is the magic of the ceremony. We hold the ceremony in community, and we have an experience where we move away from our own individual sorrows and grief, and we step into the universal with everyone in this room and share our emotions and our prayers. So we step out of the individual into the archetypical universal energy of the human experience. All of us will experience the Despacho, but we will see it in a different way. We will have a different connection with the Despacho. So it's at once a community experience and an individual experience. So if I asked you about it afterwards, you would each tell me a different story. And yet it would be the same. The third part of any ceremony is closure. And so we will close sacred space before we leave this room. And a celebration will happen over lunch, where we go and celebrate our life, our gratitude to the abundance that's provided for us at lunch, and our communities, talking with others and sharing. So 4 parts: invocation, transformation, closure, and then celebration. So we're going to have to leave the celebration up to you. Okay? We'll see you at lunch and we can celebrate. Okay. Let me introduce the shamans sitting in the circle. Over here is Linda Fitch, who you met in the beginning. This is Matthew Quiet in the middle, and Naya Devi over there in the distance. Right, Naya? Hi. Good. Now, we're going to stand to open sacred space. We're going to turn in the cardinal directions. We're going to turn south first, which is in this direction here. The corners of the room are the directions. If you would turn to the south. To the winds of the south, great serpent, Sachamama, come wrap your coils around us. Help us to shed the stories that no longer serve us. Help us to step into the beauty way, seeing beauty all around us, holding us, especially seeing the beauty within ourselves. We call on Mount Bachelor to the south to join us as the great mountain to hold us in our ceremony today. Ho! Ho. And turn to the west, to this corner over here. To the winds of the west, I call on the jaguar to come and protect this medicine space, to circle around our circles, padding around, tracking, holding us in fearlessness. Also reminding us to open our hearts with great moon eye to our loved ones who have departed and to each other in this community. I call on the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, to bring us those rhythms of your waves and your tides to hold us in this ceremony. Ho! And we turn to the north. I call on the winds of the north, ancient ones, grandmothers and grandfathers, all those who have stepped outside of time. I call on our children's children to join us today, to share your wisdom, to whisper to us your messages, and to hold us in your sweet embrace. I call on Siwakinti, hummingbird, to fly through this room, reminding all of us that we are on a soul's journey. And the journey may be long, and we need to sip the sweetest nectar to support ourselves. I call on the mountain Rainier to hold us from the north and bring your wisdom and those cool, refreshing snows down into this room to hold us in your embrace. Ho. And if you would turn to the east, I call on the winds of the east to fly into this room, to refresh us. I call on the eagle and the condor to circle around this building and hold us in your embrace. Remind us that we can have a greater vision and that we too can spread our wings and fly wingtip to wingtip with great spirit. I also call on Mount Hood to grace us with your presence today and ground us in this ceremony. Ho. Ho. And if you would touch the ground. Sweet Mother Pachamama, Mother Earth, thank you for holding us today and grounding us today. We are here to honor you and all of your creatures, the stone people, the plant people, the animal people, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the creepy crawlers, and those that float through the waters and the gases. We are all one, living on your skin, and we are so grateful for all that you provide for us. Ho. Ho. And if you would reach towards the sky. Inti Tai Tai, Father Sun, Mama Kia, Grandmother Moon, Chaska Kuna, Star Brothers and Sisters, shine down on us today, reminding us to sing the song of life. We ask you to join us in ceremony and hold us with your brightness. You who are known by 1,000 names and you who are the unnameable one, thank you for bringing us this seed of life today. Ho! Ho! You may be seated.